I'm Hannah Wallace and welcome to Finextra TV. We're here at Money 2020 in Europe, and kindly joining me now in the press lounge is Josh Bottomley from HSBC. Hello Josh, lovely to meet you. I want to talk to you a little bit about innovation, but firstly, walking around Money 2020 this year, what have been sort of the key topics you've been hearing people talk about?
I think the excitement this year has been the movement of some of the fintechs and the companies from being, that's an interesting idea, I wonder how I might fit it in, into some actually fairly mainstream problem solving that's relevant to bank, whether it's fraud, whether it's the money laundering rules, or just better credit assessment. So it's feeling really quite mainstream.
Some really interesting discussions. So it's back to this topic of innovation. How do you benchmark innovation in 2019, would you say?
So I think innovation is it's a difficult one because almost by definition, if you start measuring it, you get it, you haven't, well, there's the cliche of people talking about it. I have three fairly simple rules of thumb. At a basic level, we've got some banking processes, how we onboard customers, how we help people, certainly through their mobile apps, to service their accounts, change their address, take out their loans. And one of them is, are we doing those differently? Do we have an agenda of how we can improve the customer experience in what we do? And certainly some of our other processes, again, the fraud processes, the risk processes, do it better. That's the basic level. We do have some metrics around customer satisfaction, net promoter scores, those areas, because that also, I think, is a sense of the outcome from that, of how we're doing, potentially compared to competitors. But actually I care more is we're just getting better. And if I'm being really ambitious, I actually think what this is about is changing the reason that people choose to bank, and hopefully with HSBC. So I want to give people new and better reasons of why to choose HSBC, why to feel loyal to HSBC, to persuade their friends to come and join us.
These are still very important things, but would you say there are banks are sort of forgetting to embrace certain technologies they might be missing out on? Which ones would you highlight?
I think the use of technology is it's a really difficult balancing act. Because at one level, we don't want to use technology for its own sake. We're a bank, we're not a technology company. On the other hand, it's really clear that there are some technologies that can allow us to offer our services much better. And I often say something, if I'd been 100 years ago, or maybe it's slightly more than that now, I'd have been saying, when electricity was coming into all sorts of industries, I'd have been one of those people saying, how can I apply electricity to this new industry, whether it's in manufacturing or servicing or street lighting? And I think that's really what technology is now. It's how can I apply the technology better in banking? So we can have a big debate around blockchain, is it going fast enough? We can have a debate around the application of why isn't it easier to get more services onto a mobile app. But if I was going to pick one, again, it's not a particularly new one, but the application of different data sources and then applying machine learning, new analytic techniques to have a better customer experience, better risk trade-off is probably the if there is an elephant in the room of opportunity, that's where it is.
What about the challenges? What are some of the challenges that come with embracing the new technology like blockchain and AI?
So there are the challenges. I think for a bank there are several. So one is clearly we have a bunch of processes and controls which are there to manage risk, and we need to change those. So sometimes for our team we use the analogy of a Rubik's Cube, where you only want to move one colour to the next door colour, but you sort of have to undo three pieces in order to make the one move forward.
It's a good analogy.
So I think that's the internal organisational piece. And then the other bit is, sometimes my job as the leader is I have some real enthusiasts in some of these areas, and I want to harness that energy. But sometimes we get caught up in the hype of what a particular technology can do, so we have to keep coming back to the customer or the internal problem we're solving and saying, is this really solving it better? So to take a well-known expression, better data will beat better analytics most of the time. So if you have data scientists who are all very excited about their models, sometimes you have to just come back and say, that's great, but actually, could we solve this problem better with just a better data source, whether it's ours or a third party, to answer that problem?
So that's ending on a pretty positive note. But finally, there's one more thing I'd like to ask you, if it's whether you see any countries or regions sort of surging and sort of moving ahead of Europe in financial services.
So the obvious country that we look at very closely is in China. There really is a different mindset to financial services. In fact, I've just come off a session where one of the speakers was saying it's the equivalent of telecom, where they've skipped landline and gone straight to mobile. I think the combination of a slightly different regulatory attitude, a different consumer attitude with respect to some of the data protection, and I think it's about embedding of financial services into people's lives. So we talk in the West about banking as an existing system, and we need to be closer to what people want, which might be to do with their home, their health, their children's education, leaving a legacy. I think that's just instinctive in the Chinese market. So we're clearly very lucky. We have a presence in China, we have a presence in different parts of the world, we have a presence in North and South America. Actually, one of the exciting things about HSBC is being able to look at what is happening in different markets and try and learn those lessons and be very quick to work out which ones we can share and how we do that.
So China is one to keep an eye on then.
Definitely.
Well, Josh, thank you very much for your insights. I'll let you get back out there. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for watching.